Hmm. Actually, I had an idea. What if I were to the redstone computer in survival? That would be a double challenge. Hmm. Yeah, I think I recall that almost all redstone computers throughout history have been constructed in creative, and so doing one in survival would be even more not only unique but of a challenge. Hmm. Although making one in the first place is a big challenge. However, doing it in survival, usually my motivation to keep going dissipates as time continues, and as things become less about the computer and more about figuring out how to get the computer to work. Hmm. Because I know exactly how to make a fully functioning redstone computer, and a good one at that. The difficulty is just implementing it. Hmm. Clearing the area to put it in all by itself would be a super project. Although, actually, I see the biggest problem with the redstone computers is memory. Each memory bit that you have is huge, and storing large banks of memory is a a very daunting task. Uh, just having a single 1 kilobyte hard drive is monumental. And that's probably Redstone's biggest problem, how huge it is. If it could just be smaller, then it wouldn't be so bad. There are mods for that, actually. I think I remember multiple sort of micro redstone mods, or even integrated circuit mods. I remember some of those. I remember using them. Hmm. Actually, no. They should go more like this. And then, from here, go directly out. Actually, I think that should be raised above the water. So the bridge would actually start from here. Hmm. I think this is kind of an ambitious project to be doing so early like this. Don't even have diamond tools yet. And usually, I don't start big projects until I have at least that. I think that's the best I can do for right now until I get better facilities here. Yeah, when going mining, it's probably a good idea to leave the building materials behind. Oh yeah, now I remember what I was going to do here. Actually, first I should... right here I should start a linear staircase instead of a spiral staircase. Mostly because there's a special effect that I found out about that where you travel up and down stairs much faster than regular blocks, especially if you sprint, because of the immediate stepping up of the stairs, of course. You know what? We have enough wood to spare. We should just have workbenches everywhere. There's no excuse to have just one central crafting area. In fact, just put the... oh wait, I forgot something. In fact... Considering actually using some mods again after all this time, even though that would kind of defeat the vanilla experience. Although, on second thought, the vanilla experience isn't, I don't think is big enough to sustain anyone for very long. Although the trouble with the modded experience is, if you don't know what you're doing, you can quickly make everything very confused and directionless to the point where you don't even know what to do anymore, which can be a pretty severe roadblock. Especially mods that break the flow of the game. Or incompatible mods that interfere with each other's mechanics. Those are especially horrible. Well, not the mods themselves, the interference. It would be nice if I could make my own mods without without trying to figure out how to use the very convoluted tools and facilities you need to set up in order to even begin. The worst part about software development is the hassle of doing anything, even basic. And not basic as in the programming language, I mean anything basic. So this linear part here is going to be where we put the stairs themselves, and then later on we'll expand it to have a minecart track on the, I think, the right-hand side going down. And of course, Minecraft's biggest problem is being so open-ended that it has no direction or any specific function in particular. Which is why imagination is critical, because without imagination, you don't even know what to do exactly. Although the problem with imagination has always been there's only so much you can do with imagination before you need something real and tangible. But you know, that sort of strongly Minecraft-inspired open source game and game engine, Mind Test. I've been working with that for a while, experimenting with it, trying to see what I can do with it. I made a lot of progress actually, mostly just modding actually. I haven't done anything with the core engine itself. But it's actually a very good platform for something bigger to put onto it. I can smell the potential. Although potential is only worth so much. I've seen countless games, rise and fall, that were said to have limitless potential but didn't use any of its potential. Oh, and another thing Minecraft lacks is any sort of a world lore or story, even though having that would kind of deprecate some of the open-endedness. Although, in that case, it should be optional, so that way you can have it either way. Then you could have both sides. Because the world seems kind of lifeless without any sort of any plot or theme or story. Oh, there it is. And notice just right now, there's nothing going on that I'm not doing, except for the day-night cycle outside. And if there's anything I could change about Minecraft, it would be that. I would start with the sort of emptiness of the world, getting rid of that by perhaps adding in some more, I'm not even sure what to call that, actually. At least the illusion of something actually happening. There's only so much dynamic things you can do in one world before it starts devouring the processing power of the computer. I think now would be a good time to start installing the staircase. Starting here. Although the problem is, now you can't get up there because this is 1.5 meters tall, and you can only jump up to 1 meter. Even though it's at chest height, you can't climb up it. And so usually you need to dig out a bypass on one of the sides of the staircase at one of these endings right here so that you can get back up. Just like this. Oh, I hear a cave now. One thing that is sometimes good to try is precompiled mod packs that are made by modding teams. Those are pretty good, although they can only go so far, and they're not specialized to your specific tastes, and so they can only be so good to you. Although technically, I guess you could further mod them yourself, or modify, I should say, at that point. Hmm. Yes. This appears to be almost down to the level we're looking for. Level 12, I think. Hmm. I think the biggest problem with Minecraft is that it's Java, and Java's limiting. Especially since it's so old. How long has Java been around for now? I think it's been at least 4 or 5 decades. I can't remember exactly when it was invented. But I remember C being at least 60 to 70 years old by now. Which, that's older than most of the people who are currently alive. Literally a relic from a bygone age, and it's still in wide use. Think about that. It's not very well lit in here. Ow. I need armor. I'm just now realizing. And this iron here will help with that. And you know what I really hate about regular Minecraft is the lack of ore variety. There's one type of metal that's even practical to use, and that's iron. Oh yeah, and the another thing, the world depth. You can only go down 60 meters before you hit the very bottom of the world. Although, if I really wanted to, I could talk about flaws in Minecraft all day long and never run out. So, each one of them individually is somewhat irrelevant and small, but together they add up to something pretty terrible. Which is not to say that Minecraft is terrible, it's to say that it's being held back by its flaws. In fact, a lot of the parts of Minecraft have been sorely requiring an overhaul for many years now, and have never received them. I'm going to try finding the 12 layer without using the overlay this time. Oh, but here's one exciting news. The team that made and runs currently the Hypixel servers for Minecraft. Yeah, that team, very popular and also quite expansive. Apparently, they've been working on making their own game for a while now, inspired directly from Minecraft. And so there's pretty good hope that that might actually be finally the sequel everyone has been waiting for, although not an official sequel, sort of a spiritual successor. And from what I've heard from it so far, it sounds like it does have the potential to actually replace Minecraft. Which I think is the best possible scenario, is if Minecraft is replaced by something that's better in every way. And then at that point, Minecraft turns into a game of the past, like Tetris or Mario, the original Super Mario, I think. And so it will always remain in the hall of legends. Actually, I think... Which layer is this? I think this is layer 8 from my memory. Well, I'm going to find out eventually because I remember lava. Oh, there's some right now actually. And there's some more. Only naturally spawns in pools deep below in the overworld. Up to level, I think either 12 or 11. And I think I found that level right here. No, wait. Right here, actually, because that's where the obsidian is. Which would indicate, however, that there's water nearby. Oh, but this is strange. There's no water here. That's very interesting, actually. How was this formed? Yeah, quite an archaeological discovery. I've never seen anything like this before. Just when I think I've seen everything there is to see in Minecraft since I've been playing for many, many years, for a very, very long time, something appears that I've never seen before. And that's another great thing about Minecraft. It's theoretically infinite replayability, even though you can get sick of it. And the concept of the game is very simple, and the mechanics are actually pretty simple too. In fact, it's actually very simplistic. Yeah, just look at this. This environment doesn't have very much actually unique in it, but it does have a lot of similar things that are slightly varied from each other, and so it gives the illusion of something natural. And look at that. Out there, there's nothing happening. It's just completely static. And that's the thing I dislike the most about Minecraft. Actually, haven't I already talked about this already? Yes, this is going to help. Another thing I really dislike is the shallow progression. You progress from wood to stone to iron to diamond, and then at that point you can enchant the diamonds. But then, at that point you've hit the end of the progression, there's nothing left to do other than maybe build a machine to automate what you're doing. Which is disappointing. There should be theoretically infinite progression. There should always be a better thing to have. So, I think excavating around this, we should be able to see what the real top layer of lava is, or magma actually. Technically, lava that's underground, just magma. It looks like this is the real layer here. However, that could be deceiving. And there's a lot of lava here. I mean magma. Trust me, I'm a geologist. I'm not actually a geologist. Well, I know some things about geology, so technically I'm perhaps a novice geologist. Oh, I overshot. Hold on. I'm trying to... Oh, well, you'll see what I'm trying to do actually. And you see, this part of Minecraft is also kind of underwhelming. You're not doing anything particularly special, although hoarding is pretty nice. But just digging in a straight line, I think this could be improved. Yes, and here it is. I'm pretty sure this is the layer we want to branch mine at. Strip mining is good for getting lots of stone. Branch mining is good for getting more ore than stone, and is also faster for getting ore. I only recommend strip mining once you have very good enchanted diamond tools. Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Once you hit the very end of the progression in Minecraft, that's when you should start modding, at that very moment. Because otherwise you're going to feel stuck and not progressing. Which is true, actually. That's exactly what's happening. And I personally recommend, to begin with, Thaumcraft, Computercraft, or CC Tweaked, as the most recent versions are called. And also, probably something technical too, or rather technological, science fiction rather than fantasy. A long time ago, the technological mod to have was, I think it was called Tekkit, or was that the mod pack the mod was in? But that's irrelevant. It focused mostly on technology. But eventually you're also going to want to get some exploration-related mods or something similar. Things that perhaps add more world generation features, or perhaps some actual illusion of a plot, like Thaumcraft has, actually. Thaumcraft has story and a lore and, you know, things a normal game usually has. And there's also mods that are similar to it, that act very similar to it. In fact, the mod that I would recommend trying first is Thaumcraft, and then Computercraft after that. Thaumcraft actually makes Minecraft a completely different experience. That's how well made it is. Yeah, see, this is why I put in stairs. Look at how fast we're moving now. We can go up and down in a matter of under a minute between the top and bottom of the world. So the thing about my first Minecraft Let's Play is I pulled it because I couldn't automatically craft dried seaweed into dried seaweed blocks to make them into fuel for the furnaces, because the only way to craft is manually in Minecraft by default, unmodded. Or at least I'm almost entirely sure that's the case. However, I soon after that realized that that's not actually the only way you can farm fuel. You can use the bamboo with some extra equipment to automatically farm that for fuel, but I didn't know that at the time. Well, either that or I just didn't care. I can't remember exactly. Yeah. Trying to think. What exactly do we want to do next? I think finding diamonds would be the thing to do at this point, so that we can get advanced very far, very fast. And that's another problem I have with Minecraft, actually. It takes maybe an hour or two to get to the diamonds, and that's almost the entire progression of the game completed that fast. And then the only thing left after that is enchanting, like I said, which that requires actually more advanced and harder to find ingredients like leather and paper and lapis at this point, recent addition to the game. Oh yeah, for this, I have an idea. There. Actually, at this point we can already make a portal to the nether. In fact, hold on a second. I use some flint and iron. We can make this part of it, and then with bucket. Actually, multiple buckets at a time would be even faster. We can... Or actually, no, we can just... Watch this, I have an idea. Yeah, this is going to be exceedingly epic, in my opinion. Out there. Here. I'm going to store the water right there while I'm working. So, the ball. I'm going to put right here. Because this is the first place I thought of, actually. I'm not sure it actually matters where I put it right now. So what I can do is simply... this is one of the best things about Minecraft, actually. You can use your imagination and problem-solving skills to just figure things out pretty simply and easily. And I feel like Minecraft should reward inventiveness more. Probably by extending the redstone. Remember 1.5, the redstone update? The one that added in blocks of redstone? And also I think it was update 1.8 that added in slime blocks, which even further enhanced redstone. Well, those two updates literally completely changed Minecraft forever because they were redstone centric. And because of that, it allowed for you to further express yourself in the form of redstone. So instead of building a normal static structure, which is akin to merely painting, which can only go so far, redstone is a lot more like making videos or fully animating a cartoon, which, as I'm sure you're aware, is far more advanced than painting a single static image, and also far more entertaining. It's only logical that it would be superior. And so now I have the portal unlit currently, although I could fix that in seconds. In fact, maybe even under a second. Now this is probably what Minecraft needs more of first, is more capacity to what's even the word I'm looking for? It should reward you more for your inventiveness. Although, I do actually feel that having a more complete world with a story and lore is probably, I feel, an almost equal priority. Because then, that would actually enhance the meaning of what you're doing in the world. There. And now we can actually go through right now, just to see. Because why not, actually? There. Now that we're here, we can actually harvest some of this quartz for later. Because why not? Who needs to be excessively prepared? In fact, this place isn't even as threatening as it may look. You can just walk around mostly casually, and the only thing you should worry about is ghasts, to begin with. Magma slimes are only rarely present, so they're not really a concern. And the blazes and withers only appear at the strongholds, which are in themselves rare also. Oh, but there is this you should be worried about. Lava flows very quickly here, and there are single source blocks of lava hidden underground everywhere in the netherrack, which you could puncture through at any time, like now. You just need to be vigilant is all. And as long as that's true, you should be fine. In fact, the biggest hazard here right now is the lava, and the ghasts, of course. And the ghasts, you can mostly just dodge their shots and be completely fine. It's only dangerous if you're not careful. Oh, look, there's a fortress right now. I mean, yeah, fortress, I think. Or stronghold? Oh, that's a fortress. I'm getting the two confused in my mind. In fact, while we're here, we might be able to get some glowstone quickly and cheaply. There's some low-hanging glowstone. And I'm collecting a lot of this netherrack just to bring back and have permanent fires wherever I want, which can also be pretty useful. I should be careful though, because this pickaxe is running low. Dangerously low, even. I'm going to spend cobblestone here since it's technically a cheaper resource, easily and readily accessible in the overworld, whereas netherrack is not readily accessible in the overworld. And since the overworld is where we typically are, it seems only logical that this would be the case. So we can actually use this for lighting, for making redstone lamps, brewing. I think the brewing mechanic in Minecraft was a genius idea, actually. Further rewarding the player for their ingenuity. I must sound like a broken record now. I'm just now realizing. Oh, there's actually an even easier one to get to. Well, I should go back now. There's no point in staying any longer. That I can see, that is. Oh yeah, and another thing. I think it's impossible to generate obsidian in the nether because any water that you place instantly evaporates. Unless it turns the lava into obsidian just before it evaporates. That would change things. Yeah, now we have tons of quartz, netherrack, and glowstone for almost no effort, which is pretty nice. Didn't even need diamonds to do that. I think all you need to do the nether is iron. Not accounting for the lesser materials, of course, like flint. Things that are barely useful for anything. Flint and steel and arrows. And then I don't think it is actually useful for anything else. Maybe one thing or two things that I'm forgetting. But even then, you see, we're burning through iron picks pretty quickly, so getting diamond tools would really help with that. I don't like how remote these furnaces are in the fort right now. Where should we actually put these that doesn't look terrible? I would like sort of a great hall with a fireplace in it. In this one. Something kind of thematic to make up for the anticlimactic nature of Minecraft. Oh yeah, another thing, if you use your imagination, the natural emptiness of the Minecraft world doesn't feel so bad. Although you could say the same thing about anything else. Using your imagination always helps. I guess this should be good enough for right now. There, that looks good enough. And as you can see, we are slowly growing the fortress out of the side of this mountain. No, actually this is a hill, not a mountain. And so this side looks and feels complete, whereas this side looks and feels like a salt mine, to be honest. In fact, this looks almost exactly like salt. Both of these. Salt is a very nuanced mineral. It can look like a lot of things. There. So this is going to be sort of the common area down here, and then up above I'm going to have the special rooms like maybe the bedroom and the dining room. Try to make it as imaginative as possible to make up for how little things like that actually realistically matter in Minecraft. Although looking at it from a slightly different perspective, those things are completely necessary because imagination is the entire idea of Minecraft. So in that sense, I'm actually both right and wrong at the same time. Or am I? Perhaps I'm just overthinking this. Actually, I think that's the most likely case. Yes, and so we can dig in a straight line like this until we find diamonds, and then that's the problem solved. It requires no more thought than that, and that's disappointing. What about an actually intellectually challenging problem? That's actually where computer craft is fun because it requires a lot of deep philosophical thought in order to solve problems with computer craft. And it's also much more powerful. You can automate basically anything that you can do personally with computer. I like how it looks better this way. Or this way better. You know, it's really disappointing though. Because making a redstone computer is so hard because of the implementation, I never get to actually program the computers and run programs on them. And even if I could, they would be slow, because redstone is slow. And then the opposite problem with computer craft is you don't actually get to design the computer from the ground up, so it's not as big of an accomplishment anymore. You already have everything. And so that's kind of disappointing also. I would prefer something in the middle. Where designing something isn't so impractical, but also isn't just handed to you. Actually, I do know one mod that might fit that description perfectly. Oh, by the way, diamonds. The mod, I think it's a mod that's based on the game GIS 100 or 1000. Can't remember exactly. And that's a mod oriented entirely around programming and old 8-bit computers, which I really liked, and I didn't ever finish the game, but I almost did. I almost completely finished it. Oh, this is bad. He has a sword, an iron sword. He could kill me in one hit. I'm just going to go back down and retrieve that now, since I spawned right here. I don't even need a bed. Alright. So this isn't so bad, as long as none of my things are broken. But even then I wasn't carrying anything critical, like diamonds or very much ore, I don't think. And that's another thing, always keep valuable possessions locked away somewhere very safe. I don't want to lose anything you can't really live without. I don't even want to risk it, actually. So I'm just going to take all of this and run. And while I'm doing that, I'm just going to sort everything really quickly. I can't handle not having an orderly inventory. Oh, did you see that? Those particles indicates an Enderman somewhere nearby. I think that small zombie spawned larger ones because they can do that actually. Ow! I need armor. I keep realizing this and then forgetting. Want to collect as much redstone as we can, even in the early times, to bank it up for later. Any redstone is valuable to me, because you can do a lot with even a little bit of redstone, and the more of it you have, you can do exponentially more the more you have. Yeah, so I'll be back for those diamonds later to make a diamond pickaxe. I should have mined them with the iron one in order to not need to waste iron on another pickaxe I'm only going to partially use. Although, on second thought, we will have, and already do have, plenty of iron, and it won't matter if we use 3 single iron ingots, and 1 coal, and 2 sticks. It won't matter that much, so I shouldn't worry about it. Even though... even though perfectionism dictates that I should. You know what, we can actually already get started on a redstone computer if we really wanted to. Look at all of this. We can do a lot of things with that, even with a small amount of redstone. I hope there's a 3rd diamond because I only saw 2 visible from the surface. And there's a very small probability that there isn't a 3rd or 4th one. In which case we would need to keep searching. Oh, look at that. Oh, never mind. It's just diagonal. And that's why you should always double check around where you found it. Because usually there's a good chance the vein it could be sort of segmented. Oh, and here's another thing. Getting to the nether is easy. You can do it so quickly, and then what? You went there and you came back with things from the nether. And now what do you do? It just seems very unchallenging and not very deep or expansive at all. Going to keep these basic tools with me at all times, just in case. There. And then, the point of having this diamond pickaxe is now that we can mine much faster with it, finding the next diamonds will be even easier, and so we can accelerate our entire schedule this way. And so we've dug in that direction for a long time. We should dig in this direction now. See how yeah, it even feels faster. And then once we enchant it, we can theoretically enchant it up to the point where the stone literally melts away like butter. And then after that, if I can figure out how to get a TNT duplicator working, I might be able to make a tunnel bore, a mechanical one, that's automatic. Although that's a big project. Oh, look, look, already. As if it's not even a thing. Or hardly a thing, I should say. And so now we can immediately make another pickaxe if we wanted to. We also have enough diamonds to spare for an enchanting table. There's some lapis for an enchanting table. It won't take too much time to find cows. Actually, we already found cows in the last episode, I remember. And for the books, finding the sugar cane shouldn't be too difficult either. So that's all of that lined out. Yeah, pretty simply and easily. And then that should be the final stage of development until we run out of things to do. And we need to start modding. What a disappointment. Trying to play Minecraft after the final stage of progression feels a lot like trying to just pass time, which is not the point of Minecraft. One game that actually is a perfect example of what Minecraft is missing is a game called 3079. It's a game in a series of games that was made by one single developer as sort of a passion project. And it's like Minecraft, but more focused on RPG elements and story. I think we are actually one level below where we should be. But its story and world are actually really good. The world actually feels alive because there's things happening in it that you're not a part of. For example, there's battles happening occasionally that just spontaneously break out. And you could even do it, you can even push it further with, remember how the game Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl had? That one really advanced a system where all of the agents in the world are simulated in real time, all the time, and each one of them is procedurally doing their own things, and you can actually go out and meet them. Which, thinking about it now, that was a really advanced system. And Stalker 2 is planned for release, I think, in 2020 or 2021. By the I forget exactly what the acronym for their name is. I'll probably think of it later. But that's our first chest completely filled. Now I can actually start sorting what goes where, abstract concept, by category of abstract concept, that is. So the chest on top will be valuable items, and the chest on bottom will be worthless trash items. Or in other words, less valuable items. Wait, we already have sugarcane. We should plant that right now to get started. So you see, the value of an item is based on two factors. Firstly, what you can do with it, and secondly, how rare it is. And so diamonds, since they're quite rare and you can do a lot with them, are very valuable. And dirt, since you can do very little with it and it's everywhere, is very worthless, even though you can still do some things with it. And that's actually a window into how economy works. The reason redstone is so valuable to me is because you can do a lot with it, even though there's a lot of it around. And so it's kind of one of the four corners of the map of value. It's a function. And so... Hmm. Trying to consider... Oh yeah, another thing I forgot. Need to start the wheat farming procedures. For that I need to clear out an area for it, and also get more seeds, till the land, plant the seeds, and then wait. Right here looks fine, I guess. Perhaps I should make a better shovel. This one's slow. In fact, my time is worth more than the shovel, so goodbye. And that's another thing, at some point you need to consider sometimes the convenience in saving time is actually worth much more than saving that $1. In fact, I do that with all of my tools, since I have so much iron. I'm finally remembering the two materials that these tools are made out of, stone and wood, are both basically worthless now since we have so much of both. Even though before they were worth a lot to us because they were our primary means of progressing. But they are no longer that, and so they've lost their value. But my biggest problem with Minecraft is that wall that you hit where you've done all of the progressing that you can theoretically do, and you feel like you've done everything, and then you feel like there's nothing left to do, which definitely shouldn't be the case. Yes, and since this is a cold biome, any water we use here is going to turn to ice if we don't cover it with something. So, I think I recall, tilled soil absorbs moisture up to 4 blocks away. Or is that 5 blocks away? No, 4 blocks away. If you count in increments, 1, 2, 3, 4, then that's 4 blocks away. However, if you count the block itself in that, it's 5 blocks away, and that's what's confusing. You need a standard for determining these things, otherwise you just get confused. This looks to be at the edge of the biome, so here I should be able to do that. And of course, it's 4 blocks in all directions, so... It's in a 4x4, no, technically that's a 9x9 square around the one water source block. Actually, it doesn't even need to be a source block, it can be any kind of water. And so here, we can go back all the way to here, and around like this, and this will all get water. Oh yeah, I forgot. Pickaxe makes breaking ice fast. Even though I think it degrades the pickaxe much faster than digging normally. Now we just need seeds for all of this tilled soil, which, that's the hard part. I just need to keep grinding these plants. There. It doesn't give you high returns, so you just need to keep doing this a lot. Now some more mushrooms for the collection. It's kind of disappointing that the most interesting thing you can find in your adventures in the overworld is probably going to be a village or a stronghold, because those aren't even that interesting. It feels very unspecial. Although yeah, there's really only so much you can do with a procedurally generated world. A handcrafted world is guaranteed to be much more special. The aspect of being crafted by an artist instead of kind of randomly put together by a machine. And then that can be the beginning of all of that. And so we have some basic farming started, and none of it is automated. Should make some basic furniture in order to keep up morale. Because otherwise this is just going to look like an empty room, and that's not good for your psyche. It's very it's very damaging. I learned this a long time ago. How to make something look like an actual sofa. In fact, I can extend this horizontally to make it look even wider. But that would actually require an extra ingredient, which is slabs. There. And then that looks much better. And you see that improves morale, which helps you keep motivated, which is difficult once you get into the later stages of Minecraft. Already looking much better overall. Yeah, that helps. I have an idea for this. Actually, oh, doesn't seem like that trapdoor gets in the way. I remember a long time ago they used to, but now we can cover this hole up because it looks horrible. There. We can keep the second trapdoor for whatever else we want. Actually, we can use that for a shelf or table, like that. And it's even retractable. That's ingenious. Oh yeah, I forgot it. I forgot you could do that. Actually, one of my favorite features about the new Minecraft updates. I feel like logically, you should be able to just crawl one block high at any time, but apparently you need doors in order to help you pistons. Very weird and illogical to me. But that does allow you to do things like this. And now you can't get back in. Because reasons. I don't think we're going to be using this anytime soon. So we can get rid of that. But what I do want, actually, out here, something that will look very thematic, is right here, I'm going to put the first one. And that's going to look pretty good. I've actually been experimenting with decoration like this off camera for some time. And I found that this kind of artistic design looks pretty good. Yeah, look at that. It already looks like something. And since that's netherrack, the fire will never go out, which is perfect. We don't want to constantly maintain something like that. Also, we get the added bonus of the fire sound effect being there so that we're not in total silence like some kind of, well, like someone who's losing their mind, honestly. And I forgot this main tunnel is still going to be here. You just cover that up since we're not using it anymore. There. And that feels much better also. Except this would be better with just one stair. Right here. Like this. Good enough. I think that's enough for this episode. I'm already feeling tired again.